Hey everybody, here's updates for the week. Starting it off, I'm a fellow in Kernel Block 3. And for those of you who don't know, Kernel is this large peer-to-peer network of people helping each other out in the Web3 space and crypto curious type people. And I just started that last Friday and got put into a pod with some other interesting people as well. So there's a lot of possibilities to collaborate and find potential collaborators and people interested. They have a whole culture section. It's mainly composed of a lot of people in decentralized finance. I think they represent like about a third of a lot of the companies participating in it. But there's an entire culture section as well, and everybody gets broken up into these little pods, and you kind of work with your group in your pod, and you have weekly assignments. It's pretty cool. It's a really cool approach, I think, to education in a way. And as somebody who's taught a lot of online courses, I just think it's really cool that it's an educational approach where there's not really any central authority. It's more like decentralized education. So in thinking about that, I think it would be interesting to also think about, how do DAOs fit into this? What we're doing here, how does that fit into this space where we can actually collaborate with one another, help each other out, and try to make Solos something really cool? Because, let's face it, I could have just taken the money I made on my NFTs and called it a day. But something about this medium, of generative collage, I guess that's what we're calling it, is, I think, something that just so many artists could use just as a new potential medium. Just like when collage started out, could have been like Hannah Hoch or one of these people, Max Ernst. But when that started out, it wasn't just like one person that got to do it. And so I think the initial knee-jerk reaction we often have today is to try and, take control of something. And what I'm interested in doing with this project with Solos is, working with the DAO to decentralize that control and make something that's really cool. And something that is more like a thing. It's a medium, right? It's not just one artist and how his art works. That makes sense? So all of y'all ideas, super important, and I'm really interested to hear all your ideas, really, because that's what really makes up this whole community. The other thing is we're doing a giveaway. So there's a giveaway for a free NFT, and I'll put an image in the Discord so you can see the NFT. I'll make a post on Twitter and Instagram as well. But yeah, there's going to be a giveaway where we're going to give away an image to the person that can write the best story about that image. And you can write that story in an Instagram story. So you put up the image and then write your story on top of it in Instagram. Or you make a post on Twitter and you write your story in the space you got on Twitter. And just make sure to mention us, at Solos, and our Twitter account or our Instagram account, and you will be entered in the free NFT contest. So all you got to do is write up a story about that, and we'll get on that. Pretty cool. Just trying to get, spread the word a little bit. Artist updates. So we're up to 8 artists now that we're working with, and just continuing to prep everything. We got the first glimpses of what the artist interface is going to look like, and I thought that was really cool. I put up the images as well on the Discord, so you can check that out. But essentially we're just mapping out this square, like this square that we got in front of us right now, and thinking about different areas of this square that you can fill up with stuff. So you can specify you want stuff to show up in the bottom part or the middle part or the top part. So the top part you'd probably want to put in a sky or different clouds or something like that. And then the middle you could even put up trees, kind of like we got here. And then for the front part, you could, specify a figure if you wanted, for instance. So basically, it's different bounding boxes that can be put in different parts of the composition, and then we can generate a lot of different cutouts in those different spaces. So for instance, you could kind of specify that eyes generally go here and mouths generally go here, or the body is generally, cut off on the sides here. So you can kind of specify these things, and then you can generate all these different layers to fit into those different bounding boxes. And that's working. So that's really cool. I'm glad that's actually turning out. And we're still shooting for a month. I'm quickly learning about what timelines look like in reality when you're juggling a lot of things and working with people that are also juggling a lot of things. So we're shooting for a month. I want to be faster. I'd love to do a next drop next week, but the reality is we just can't do it. But we do have 8 artists now that are willing to work with us. So I'm pretty psyched about that. We'll be announcing the new artists at the show. I inhaled like a fly. We'll be announcing the new artists at a show on Saturday the 22nd. I'll be there. Hopefully we get the TV head thing working, so I can have like a TV head in CryptoVoxel's space in Chill Zone's place. And you can check that out. I think we're starting around, it's tough, it's always messing up my head because we got time zones all over the world. But I can stay in the room for a long time to answer different people's questions. But just check out the Discord, and we'll have a couple different people speaking, myself included. I could maybe, look at the different artists that we're introducing as well and talk a little bit about them, introduce those artists that'll be present. I'm going to invite all them too, of course. And you can check that out by going to daisy.space. Daisy.space. So thanks to Chill Zone for getting that URL, making it easy for people to get to the space. All you got to do is go to daisy.space, and it'll take you to his place. No, wait a minute. Yeah, it's daisy.space. Let me make sure I'm not giving you all the. Yeah, daisy.space. If you go to daisy.space, you'll be able to get right into the CryptoVoxels gallery, and you can see everything that's been made. He's done a ton of work, which is super cool, and I just love how it looks. It's really kind of amazing how, the physical coming into the virtual world actually in this way is really something that it makes complete sense. But when you create an entire body of work based on your body of work, based on multiple years of your body of work, it's kind of an amazing thing to see. Because not only are these paintings, just my paintings, but these are paintings that I've done over the course of like 5 years. So when you see something from 5 years ago juxtaposed with something new, it's just a pretty interesting experience in that regard as well. That you can see all these things mashed up on top of each other in that space. So I'm really excited about the way it looks, and definitely come out on Saturday to that show, May the 22nd. What else do we got on the list? I made a list. Oh, I'm going to do a podcast. So the way we're going to introduce the artists, the way I'm thinking about it is, because essentially what we're doing here is a gallery. It's really similar to a gallery. So I'm trying to think, what do galleries do well? I'm kind of looking at that model. And I have a podcast called The Painting Podcast. It's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever. Like 5 different podcast services. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just interview all the artists that we have coming up. And I'm going to ask them 5 paintings that they'd like to live with. So they can choose any 5 paintings in the world that they want to live with, and they're going to talk about why those paintings are important to them. It's kind of based on this this other show called Desert Disc Island, I think, or something like that. And basically they talk about these 5 different paintings, how they've influenced them, and we'll get to learn a little bit more about each artist in this way. And I'll also just be interviewing them, so any questions that come up during the discussion about these different paintings, about their lives, you know, where they live, how they got into painting, all these sort of like pretty standard podcasty type questions I can ask as well, in addition to talking about all those paintings. So hopefully I'll be doing that, the first one of those, this week. So I'm pretty excited for that. I think that'll be a cool way to just intro the artists. But if you also know of any creative ways to introduce different artists, just let me know, because I'm all ears. I think making videos would be optimal. For instance, Johnny DeFeo, he is our next artist coming up in a few weeks here, and he's in Yosemite right now. And so I told him to basically, you know, shoot a bunch of video while you're in Yosemite, and we can also get an idea for what his point of view is, why he's making paintings. He created this really cool artist residency, traveling artist residency in an RV, and they go to different national parks and just paint together. You can check them out on Instagram. They're called Swab. I think it's called Swab Artist Residency, SWAB. And so they'll be in Yosemite. And I was thinking, you know, since I'm doing him next, and most of his paintings are plein air paintings too, you know, he's somebody who goes out and paints in these places actually, and he's not just like taking a photo and painting from it. So he comes from a really traditional painterly approach, which I kind of like a lot as well. But we might be the first NFT, plein air NFT in a way, because I haven't seen a lot of people making paintings that are going out and then making NFTs of them, especially in this way. So hold tight for the first plein air NFT. Maybe Chillzone will be so kind that once we start generating a lot of his images, we could do a show of his work as well at Crypto Voxels, and also put it up in my gallery space in Prague too. So could be cool. Yeah, I can talk for a while, probably rambling at this point. And thanks a lot for all your support. Any questions or comments, just write them down below. Let me know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do you want to see? Talk to you soon.